A Roland Coate home in Arcadia? Absolutely. Although Roland Coate, the noted architect, did many homes in Pasadena, Altadena, San Marino, and Los Angeles, he does have a few of them here in Arcadia, and this is one of them. This is the Armstrong House. My name is Glenn Kangas. I'm a real estate appraiser for 27 years here in Southern California, and one of my favorite things about my job is the history that I get to see when I'm out appraising properties. And today I'd like to share a piece of that history with you. This is the Armstrong House by Roland Coate. It was built for Lionel M. Armstrong. He at the time was a car executive. He worked for Chandler Car Company, which is a pretty fascinating story. They were known for making six-seater cars in the late teens and into the 20s. And Lionel Armstrong, in addition to being a businessman on the car front, he just liked to do business. One of the things that I find most interesting about the story of Lionel Armstrong is that he was in business with the Lopez Studios, which was a partnership with Katherine Van Dyke. And Katherine Van Dyke, if you remember from my Villa Cigliano vlog, is the person who had the Edward C. Kent home built in Pasadena in 1930 that was designed after a winery in Tuscany. So I found that really interesting about Lionel Armstrong, that he was tied to Katherine Van Dyke in another historical home. What you find when you research all of this and study all of this is that a lot of these people knew each other. So whenever there's a historic home to review, usually there's a connection somewhere in the background, and I love finding those. Now, the Roland E Coate home here for Lionel Armstrong was originally 9 acres, according to Tim Gregory, the biographer. And when they expanded the freeway, they cut off 3 acres there, and then after that, the area was developed and the other 6 acres was subdivided. The address was originally a Foothill Boulevard address in Arcadia, and that was even in the Don Pablo Estates brochure when they subdivided. 890 West Foothill was the address, and that was the address of this house, in addition to being the address listed for the Don Pablo Estates. So in looking at this, it's a very classic front for a Roland Coate. Very beautiful on the front, but very simple. And then there's always, or most of the time in a Roland Coate, you see an asymmetrical wing somewhere in the house, and we see that wing in the background over there. So I'd like to take you inside, take you in the back, and show you a few of the noted features that were typical of Roland Coate, and just explore this wonderful piece of history. The great thing about this piece of history right now is it's actually on the market and available for you to buy it if you want to buy a piece of history, and we'll talk about that more when we're inside. So a little bit of history about Roland E Coate. He was someone who was born in Indiana, and he went to architecture school at Cornell University in New York in the early 19-teens. And worked in New York for a couple of years prior to World War I. Worked for a very established and well-noted architectural firm. And then after World War I, when he got out of the military, he went to California because California was the place to be for architects. And he was pretty well known already. And once he hit the ground ground running. He started out with Reginald Johnson and Gordon Kaufman. Now, Reginald Johnson, if you don't know, was really kind of the talent finder. He loved to find budding architects and coach them, bring them along. And there's so many that worked for him that eventually went out on their own and became very noted architects. And Roland Coate was really one of the first ones after Gordon Kaufman. And within a year of starting there, Roland Coate was a partner. The firm became Johnson, Kaufman, and Coate. Which was pretty astronomical rise for Roland Coate. Now again, after that, he obviously started getting quite a bit of notoriety. He designed churches, including the All Saints Church in Pasadena. And on top of that, one of the things that Roland Coate was known for is, number one, making just the ease of flow. As you flowed, the house flowed nicely, flowed into the rooms nicely. But he always liked to have an area that was kind of more of a privacy type feel to it. And it was often either the living room or the family room. Now in this house, it's the living room. Big, tall, grand ceilings, a beautiful fireplace. But the living room is just kind of set off from the rest of the house. It's not really next to anything else. Across the hallway is like a library or an office. But this just has a very private, we're kind of away from everything feel to it. Cavernous, beautiful. There's a piano here at the moment, and I'm sure that was very common. It's also got what at the time was probably a covered patio and now is a sunroom off to the side, which again easily flows to the outside. He just liked things to flow well and make it easier for people to live and entertain in their house. So this is a great example of the privacy aspect that Roland Coate was noted for in his designs for people, and something that people like about his houses.
Although Roland Coate created homes of many different designs, he is most well known for his large-scale Spanish colonial homes where site, landscape, and architecture were interwoven to make the home not only elegant but livable. The rear yard and patio of the Armstrong House demonstrates this, as the patio is easily accessed from multiple parts of the home and creates a sense of privacy with a fireplace, covered and open areas, and bench seating. Although the rear yard has likely been changed over the years, it still incorporates well into Coate's style with beautiful plants and an attractive water feature that makes it pleasant to be there. Other features throughout that demonstrate the truly historical nature of the home are the fire hoses built into the wall in the butler wing and upstairs hallway, as well as balconies on both the front and rear of the home and a deck off of one bedroom. Additionally, there is the large California basement with plenty of room to store wine, and a brick incinerator in the basement with chutes from both the first and second floors.
All right, so we're here in the master bedroom here of the Armstrong House in Arcadia, done by Roland Coate. And I'm here with one of the listing agents, J.C. Fernandez, and I'm going to have him tell you a little bit about just the features of this great master bedroom and some of the designs that are appealing.
So in typical Roland E Coate fashion, you can see the accessibility from not only to the front balcony, but you can see to the back balcony as well, even off to its own little private master balcony off on the west side of the home. One of the biggest, most appealing features of this is the size of the master bedroom closet. It's actually its own room in itself, I guess you could say. Also, its details in terms of the crown moldings, etc. It's something truly phenomenal, and me as a little bit of a history guy, I'd love to see the rich character that this home has.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now the other thing that I noticed while we're in here is this beautiful fireplace with a marble footing. And then I noticed also that the master bathroom is fantastic and completely remodeled. So really, really nicely done. The feel in this room is just amazing. Very typical of Roland Coate. You just want to live in the house, and you enjoy living in the house when you're in a Roland Coate house. Another really exciting thing about this house that JC has listed is its price point. The price point for a Roland Coate very typically is well above $6, $7, $8 million. The last one in Arcadia sold for $10.8 million, and I did an appraisal on one in San Marino a couple years ago that sold for $13 million, and it wasn't remodeled or anywhere near as nice as this. Those are typically bigger houses. This one at just under 5,000 square feet is at a little under $2 million price point. So if you want to be able to get into a Roland Coate house for under $2 million or around $2 million, man, this is a great opportunity, because usually you have to pay a lot more to get something done by a Roland Coate or any of the noted architects of the time. So take advantage of that and really enjoy just the fantastic feel and features of a Roland Coate house, the Armstrong House here in Arcadia.
I hope you enjoyed this fantastic piece of real estate history, the Armstrong House in Arcadia by Roland E Coate. If you enjoy the history of architects, architecture, and real estate like I do, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page and hit the bell to be notified whenever a new video is posted, so you don't miss any of the fascinating history. If you are an agent with a historical home that is listed or is an upcoming listing and want me to do a vlog on that property, either call or text me at 626-264-4345 or email me at gaappraisalsinc@gmail.com. You can also check out my website at www.gaappraisalsinc.com to find links to all of my social media. No matter how you connect with me, I hope you enjoyed being informed about the history of real estate in Southern California.